Hi everybody, now we're covering an extremely important subject. Learning phase is a hot topic on Facebook ads. Some people say learning doesn't matter. The reason being is if you give the right audience to the right creative, Facebook will perform. Meaning your ads, those people will see your ads and they will buy regardless of learning. And some advertisers, I'm one of them, learning phase do matter, but not as much as people think. It is not a life or death situation. So it is important, but not as important as people think. Let's move on. So what is a learning phase? Learning phase is a period when the delivery system still has a lot to learn about the ad set. Ad set meaning we have audiences in ad sets, right? We have the interests, demographics, whatever we have there, right? And under that ad set, we have ads. So Facebook is trying to figure out what is going on in that audience, trying to figure out the best people to show. Let's say your optimization event is website views. They will try to find people who will visit your website in that specific group. Or if your optimization event most likely is going to be sales or leads, right? In this case, if you're running ads for yourself or for your client, you want to give them leads and sales. So in this case, they will try to find who is the most likely person that is going to buy this product or service that with the guy's offer, with your offer, right? So during the learning phase, the delivery system is exploring, is trying, testing new things. Let's show this ad to John. John is an engaged shopper that he likes sneakers. This guy is selling sneakers. Let's see how he reacts to this ad. And then if he doesn't buy, he just skips it, and they will show another person who has bought a sneaker recently, right? So in this phase, which is called learning, your performance is not going to be top notch, right? Not the best, because when you start working in an agency, agencies usually say the first month don't expect much. We're going to test different audiences, different creatives. That's why actually the learning phase is going to kick in and the performance is not going to be the best, especially on a new ad account, right? If your ad account is out of the learning phase or ad set is out of the learning phase and it's performing and you make a big change, significant edit, Facebook calls it over here. Once you click on it, once you download the presentation, you will go to the definition of the significant edit. After the significant edit, you will get into the learning phase again. In case you are out of the learning phase, by the way, guys, I will explain everything. This may sound confusing right now. This will be really, really clear once we cover every single thing in this section. This is really important. Don't skip this. So here, as you can see, delivery column under this, you will see active. So this is default, guys. You will always see this. So active learning, which means this is in the learning phase. So if you make significant edits, the learning will start over again. So that's why do not change a lot when you are testing new audiences. But under the scaling section, we covered when to pause an ad set. Well, if you're not profitable at all and you spend a lot and you are going to kill that ad set. I'm not telling you to keep that ad set as long as possible to get out of the learning phase. If you're not profitable, you're going to kill that ad set. What I'm talking about is if you have couple of profitable ad sets, right? What I mean by profitable is you're putting $1 in, you're getting $3 out, $1 in, $10 out, $1 in, $2 out, right? Or with your cost per acquisition, if you're generating leads for a business, for a real estate agent, and they say, I'm profitable at, I want my leads to be around CPA, which is cost per acquisition, around $30, right? And if you're generating around 35, 25, that's okay. You will keep that ad set alive and you will have multiple ad sets like this. And you have to pay attention to that and not change it in those successful ad sets. I'm not talking about non-profitable ad sets. You're going to kill those right away. You don't want to spend too much money on, let's wait out of the learning phase and it will magically perform better. No. If this ad set is not working well from the get-go and you wait for, as I covered, 7 days, 10 days, 5 days, whatever your profitability is in that circumstance, you will wait and kill that ad set right away. Because if it gets out of the learning phase and you're not profitable, don't expect for it to magically become profitable. That's key. How to exit the learning phase. So once you exit the learning phase, your performance will improve quite a bit, but not as drastically as I said. What Facebook needs to get out of that learning phase is Facebook will say, okay, I know what you want, I know your offer, I know your ad, and I know who are going to react to this specific ad in this given audience. So for this to happen, you need 50 optimization events per ad set, not campaign, not ad account, per ad set. Under the ad set, we have demographics, interests, so on and so forth. 50 optimization events, what does that mean? It could be if you optimize towards purchase, how I always say optimize towards purchase, you need 50 purchases per ad set. That's quite a bit, and this has to happen in 10 days, guys. It doesn't mean 50 optimization events in a year. You won't get out of the learning phase. It has to happen in a short period of time, and as I said, if you don't have the budget for it, don't worry too much about it. So you can still get good results with Facebook ads with a small budget. But the reason Facebook tells this is you have to give Facebook enough data in a small period of time, let's say 10 days, 7 days, so Facebook will act accordingly. 50 optimization events per ad set since last significant edit is required. So what is the last significant edit? So when you make a significant edit, as Facebook call it, your Facebook ad sets will get into a learning phase. But let's cover what is that last significant edit. Any change to targeting, that will put that as a significant edit. Any change to the ad creative, that will put that as a significant edit. The reason being is, as I said, they have to understand this type of person reacts certain way to this type of creative, right? They have to understand that. So if you change the creative, Facebook will be like, what the hell, they changed this, so I have to find another person, right? That's the reason why the learning phase is impacted by these type of edits. Any change to optimization event, let's say you are optimizing towards purchases and you changed it to add to cart. This will start the learning phase again because you literally changed the most important thing. Adding a new ad to the ad set, yeah, that's critical as well. You are going really well with that specific audience and put another ad inside, which I personally do and I personally value getting out of the learning phase. But if you put new ads in it, Facebook will try to optimize again to, okay, this person put another ad, now I have to optimize towards that as well. But also keep that in mind, guys. Once your ads are fatiguing, you have to put new ads inside. And as I said, don't worry too much about this learning phase, but keep those in mind. So if you have to gonna be putting new ads inside, because one ad could only last maximum, and most of you are not going to last this long, maximum half a year, guys, 6 months. In now today's day and age, after iOS, creative is even more important. So now you have to put new ads every single month, new 5 to 10 different ads, and you have to test them in a creative testing campaign, which I will cover. Pausing your ad sets for 7 days or longer, and then Facebook, this specific ad set will get into the learning phase again. Let's say you're running ads for one person, one client, and they say, oh, pause all the ads, and then you stop all the ads, pause them, and then after 8 days later, they give you a go. There was like something with their website, and you start the ads again. The ad set might not perform as good before you pause the ad set. The reason being is it got into the learning phase again. There's going to be small impacts on performance. So what are the best practices that Facebook recommends to us for this learning phase phenomena? Wait to edit your ad set until it is out of the learning phase. That's important. So don't touch the targeting. If you want to test a new targeting, launch a new ad set. That's important. Avoid unnecessary edits that cause the ad sets to re-enter the change, which we covered already in the previous section. Avoid high ad volumes, so which means do less ad sets. Don't have like 20 to 30 different ad sets, which I do usually in the testing phase. But after the testing phase, with the scaling strategies, you're going to have winning ones, and then you will focus on the learning. Learning comes after and during the scale. Use realistic budget. If you have, as I said, if you have $500 to $1,000 per week and you want to optimize towards purchases, please forget about learning phase, guys, because there is no way you're gonna get enough purchases. 50 conversions, 50 purchases in 10 days. And there are some advertisers that you can try as well. I personally don't like to do it, but some advertisers do and see great results. What they do is they choose their optimization event as view content, which is people being on the landing page, landing on the landing page, and stay on that for a while. And you can put a number as a second as well. Like I want people to spend 5 seconds, and I will mark that as a conversion. You can say that. And that will be your optimization event. And it is easier for you to get more people there in the 10 days. And you'll probably get more than 50 people in last 10 days. So you can get out of the learning phase that way. But Facebook, in that case, will think, okay, how can I find people who are going to stay on the website, not necessarily going to purchase. So keep that in mind as well. And Facebook is not stupid. Let's move on. These changes, by the way, not all changes are less significant edits. There are some changes that you can do that won't affect the learning phase. For instance, so if you increase the budget from 100 to 110, which is a 10% increase, won't impact your learning. But if you increase your budget from 100 to 1,000, your ad set will enter the learning phase back again. So usually the limit is 15 to 20%, guys. Don't go above increasing or decreasing the budgets. And ad spend limit amount, you can put an ad spend limit amount. Don't spend more than XYZ dollars a day. That won't impact your learning phase. And also there are bit control, cost per result goal, or ROAS goal amount, which I will cover in the upcoming section. And these are not going to impact your learning. Learning limited is going to come up after a while, and Facebook will literally telling you is I cannot get out of the learning phase. This is what they tell you. If your ad set isn't getting enough optimization events to exit the learning phase, the delivery column is going to be this, guys. Delivery will say learning limited. And do not worry about that. This doesn't mean your ads are not going to perform. As I said, this doesn't have a drastic impact. It might have an impact, but it is not as big as most advertisers think, guys. So I've had lots of successful campaigns, meaning 20x ROAS in 2 months time consistently in learning limited delivery. It's not of a big deal, but if this happens, that means your budget is not big enough and your audience size is not big enough. And these are the most important things that you have to consider. Guys, that's perfectly fine, guys. You're going to have some clients. They're not going to be able to spend more than $1,000, right? Those are going to be some cases that you're going to see. And that's all right. As I said, how to troubleshoot the learning limit. Most important things are raising the budget and expanding the audience. But there are other suggestions from Facebook itself, so you have to consider those. Combining ad sets and campaigns. This is a big one. As I said, creating a new CBO audience and putting the winning ones in one campaign, which also helps, and those are going to be the winning ad sets, right? Keep that in mind. But this doesn't work as well as expanding the audience and raising your budget. Raise your bid or cost control. So these are two functions that I will cover after this section that you can do once you have enough conversion actions that I didn't cover, because this is an advanced strategy on Facebook ads, which doesn't really work as well as it works in Google, right? That's why I'm not going to put too much emphasis on it, but I will cover in case you want to use it. And changing your optimization event might actually help. As I said, let's say you have 1,000 budget and you want to get out of the learning phase and see how that impacts your sales or leads. You can select your optimization event as, let's say, add to cart instead of a purchase. The main reason being is, let's say you have 50 add to carts and you're going to have 2 purchases, right? Or 10 purchases. In this case, you're not going to be able to get that 2 purchase, 10 purchase to 50 purchase, but you're going to have 50 add to carts, which in this case will get you out of the learning phase, get you out of this learning limited. Keep that in mind, guys. If you have learning limited and you want to get out of the learning phase, you can always increase your budget, expand your audience, adjust your bid and cost control. If you set it really low, Facebook will not be able to find that right audience, increase that, and change your optimization event. And also, it is not end all be all, guys. So you can still see great results with learning limited ad sets, but if you're really obsessed with this, if you are working with really big budgets, and I suggest you get out of the learning phase, but you have to do this with winning ad sets, winning audiences. Please, please, please do not try to get out of the learning phase right off the blue without testing anything, without knowing which creative and which audience works really well. In that case, you will be less profitable. You will spend money expecting it to be magically blow up your bank account after it gets out of that learning phase.